Okay, let's not waste too much time with an intro. You've come here to learn the top 10 tips for improving confidence as a man, and I'm going to deliver on that. We're going to jump straight into it with number 1, which is learn to breathe. Now you're probably saying to yourself, Ben, I know how to breathe. I've been doing it all my life. I can do it with my eyes closed. I can do it when I'm sleeping. It's absolutely no problem at all. To which I would say, haha, you're very smart. Okay, whatever. No, what I'm really talking about is learning how to stay calm, learning how to stay centered, learning how to stay present. There is a reason that people in the top areas of the military, I'm talking people like the SEALs and the SAS and like all these top dudes, have to learn how to breathe in order to keep themselves calm, to keep themselves steady in the face of battle, in the face of danger, and so on and so forth. And whilst you will probably never face that, because let's face it, the majority of us will never even be in a fight in our lives, it is worth it to learn how to breathe, how to get enough oxygen into your body so that you've got enough oxygen in your blood to get to your brain so that you can make the best possible decisions and make the best possible responses and reactions to the things that happen to you in life. Learning how to take deep, clear breaths right the way into yourself, holding it for a little bit and then breathing out again. It's pretty much as close as your brain can get to drugs without taking anything, is learning how to breathe. Basically what I'm saying is that if the military, people like the SEALs, the SAS, if they deem learning how to properly breathe so that you can stay calm in situations and stay at your peak, if they deem it necessary for those people at the top levels to do it, then it's probably something that you should do as well. Okay, so the second thing is practicing saying no. This is something that we just simply do not do enough of in our lives. If you want to be assertive, if you want to live your own life in the way that you want to live it, you have got to practice saying no, whether that is to your spouse, to your boyfriend or girlfriend, to your boss, to your friends, to the salesman on the street who is following you with a flyer trying to convince you to buy their extremely overpriced hand soap. Learning how to say no is an essential part of asserting who you are as a person, because if you're confident, then you know what you want and you know what you don't want, and you are not afraid to say it. So start practicing saying no, and it will change your life for the better. It will make you more confident. It will make you more sure of yourself. Okay, confidence tip number 3, learn how to dress well, but dress comfortably. Now, I am not the person to lecture you on personal style. At this point of time, I am wearing a shirt that I've owned for the last 4 years. I bought it for £6 at Primark. For anyone outside of the UK, if you don't have a Primark, it's literally the cheapest clothing store you could possibly get. But it fits me relatively well. It is comfortable. It's got a nice design on the front of the shirt that I quite like. And really, that's all that there is to it for me. I like to dress in a way that is comfortable. I like to dress in a way that's kind of visually appealing to me. And that's really what you should do as well. I've seen a lot of guys that will try to force themselves to dress in ways that they just aren't comfortable because they think that it's gonna make them stand out. They think it makes them seem fashionable, so on and so forth. But if you're having to stuff yourself into a 3-piece suit every day with really uncomfortable hard leather shoes, and you don't want to wear that, you prefer to wear a Star Wars top and cargo shorts. Just do you. Dress well and dress comfortably. That's all I have to say with that, because you will feel better when you are comfortable. So don't dress for anyone else, unless it's for a job interview or something, in which case, yeah, you should probably, dress in the way that they expect you to. But in everyday life, just dress comfortably and you will be fine. Number 4 is something that I highly endorse, which is work on yourself. Have an idea for what you want to be, for what you want to do with your life, and then make sure that you're working towards it every single day. This doesn't mean that you have to take massive action steps. No, that's impossible. That's going to burn you out. But make sure that you are taking at least one small step towards that goal every single day. It's what I do. It's why I put a video out on this channel every single day. It's why every day I'm either filming or editing or making new thumbnails or learning about more stuff to put into videos and all this other stuff, because like, this is my vision. This is what I want to do with my life, he says, with 121 subscribers at this time. Always be working on yourself, always be working towards your vision until you've reached that point where, you know, you have gotten to as far as you want to be, the place that you can go to where you are just happy with who you are. Okay, this next tip shouldn't need too much explanation. Just try and stay as healthy as you possibly can. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete or a bodybuilder or anything like that, but, you know, eat good food, work out, you know, every now and then, get some physical exercise, get the right amount of sleep, keep your energy up. Just do the things that keep you healthy and energetic, because that will make a massive difference with your confidence. If you're eating crappy food all day and you've got really, really low energy, then that's going to make you feel drained in terms of your confidence. So eat healthy, stay healthy, and that's all I've got to say. Okay, the next tip for confidence is to define yourself, or someone else will do it for you. Now, what do I mean by defining yourself? I mean, figure out what you want in life, what you like, what you don't like, and then make those your values. If, you know, you really enjoy spending time with your family and being a great dad, then make that one of your values and make sure that that is one of the things that you define yourself by. If you value it, then live by it, because if you don't, then other people are just going to make up stuff for you, and you don't want someone else to be defining your life. You probably spent most of your early life, from the time that you were like born until maybe you were about 16, 17, 18, your life was being defined for you by other people, by parents, by teachers, you know, people like that who really didn't know you, because, you know, no one knew you back then, but you were at a point in your life where you can start to define yourself for who you want to be. So don't let other people define you. Choose who you want to be, choose what your values are, and make sure that you live those values every single day. Okay, number 7 is don't define yourself by your relationships. You know, this leads very well on from the last point, but I see so many guys who define themselves by whether or not they are in a relationship or not. And this really shouldn't be the case, because if you have a strong definition of who you are, if you have got those central values, if you have got that sense of self, that strong sense of self that only comes from working yourself and discovering who you are and what you want to do with your life, if you have got that, then you don't need someone else to define who you are. It will not matter what someone else thinks of you, or how another person, how your spouse, how your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, how they define you, because you will have already defined who you are. Okay, number 8 is to learn how to process and manage your emotions. Okay, so as guys, this is something that we're not exactly brought up to do. You know, we're brought up to be stoic, which we often completely misunderstand to mean basically emotionally numb. You know, we keep everything bottled up. We don't let it all out because we think that that's control. But the truly confident person not only expresses themselves, but they also express their emotions. You cannot keep these bottled up inside of you. It's dangerous, it's stupid, and it's a waste of your time, because life is so much better when there is emotional richness to it. Processing and managing your emotions is all about listening to what they are trying to tell you and then acting in a healthy way. So, let's take an example. You have gone through a really, really rough rejection. Your emotions are telling you, this really sucks. I don't want to feel like this. This really hurts. Let's never do that again. Now, an unhealthy response to that is to go, okay, we're never going to go through that kind of rejection again. We're just going to sit in our room. We're going to play video games. We're going to watch a whole bunch of porn, take a whole bunch of drugs, and that's going to be, that'll have to be it. The healthy response to that is to say, yep, that really, really sucked, but I really, really want to meet someone to spend the rest of my life with. And that means I've got to go through at least a few more rejections. So let's just feel bad for a little while and then get straight back to it again tomorrow, because The other option is to, well, sit in your room and play video games and watch porn and take drugs. So that is kind of the difference between bottling up your emotions, ignoring it, trying to blanket it with a bunch of cheap dopamine hits, and then actually managing your emotions by doing something about them. And the confident person listens to their emotions and then acts in a healthy way. Okay, so number 9 is a bit of an odd one because it's going to be something that's very subjective to you as an individual, and that is to learn how to listen to your intuition, learn how to trust your gut, because sometimes you are just going to have a gut feeling about something or about someone, and you are just going to have to go with that feeling. If you, for example, meet a really super attractive person and you go out on your first date, it's great, they've got amazing personality, they're super funny, super sexy, everything's going really well, and then they kind of make like a backhanded comment about someone who's like working at the restaurant, like a server or a waiter or something like that, and that kind of triggers something, and you were like, I'm not too sure about that. That seems to maybe possibly suggest that maybe they are someone that's got like a super big ego, bit of a narcissist, somebody that's looking down on somebody who's doing a job that, they're probably proud of doing and that they're working hard to do, even when they do have like crappy customers. And you think to yourself, okay, so I don't really know this person too well, but I know that that's a red flag. And you trust your intuition, you go with it, and later on you find out they're like a psychopath or something. Probably not that extreme, but like, so you have to learn how to trust your intuition. If you want to know how to develop your intuition, well, that comes from experience. It involves you going out there and making a ton of mistakes and hoping that none of those mistakes like kill you in the process. And that's really all there is to it. Simple, right, guys? But every time you do trust your gut and you do trust your intuition and you turn out to be right, that's a super amazing confidence boost to yourself. So you're like, I knew that and I didn't even know how I knew that, but I'm a super cool guy, basically a psychic. Call me Sherlock Holmes, I banged it, it's great. And the final tip for confident men is simply this: start practicing your confidence as if it is a skill instead of it being a character trait that you were born with or you weren't born with. Confidence isn't any one thing. It is your ability to get over rejection. It is your ability to listen to your emotions. It is your ability to be social and to carry on good conversations and to be intuitive and to read people and how to manage yourself, and so much more goes into it. And if you think of confidence as something you either have or don't have, then you're not going to be able to develop it. Instead, you need to think of it as a skill that you can and will develop. So me, for example, I know that I am a terrible football player or soccer player if you're not from the UK. I'm terrible at it, but I don't think that it's a character trait that I'm bad at football, because I know that if I was to like go and hire a coach and then practice at it for like a year, then yeah, I could probably be pretty good at it, or at least as good as the average person. And you need to think of your confidence in the same way. Like if you know, for example, you're really bad with your social skills, then yeah, you've got to go and practice them, and that's probably going to suck. Maybe that involves you going and learning like public speaking at one of those like Toastmasters clubs in your local area. I don't know what it is, but treat your confidence as if it's a skill that you have got to develop. And those are my top 10 tips for confidence for men.